think it's really easy to get really excited by all the different kind of AI tools and automation available that sometimes we can lose sight of the human touch. Future generation of leaders who understand when to use the data and when to lean into that kind of human first, customer first approach, and where we can combine those two things is where...
Welcome to the CX Impact Tour. I am Juanita Coley, and as I'm traveling the globe, I'm sitting down with CX leaders that are focusing on what's working, what's shifting, and how they are preparing for the future of this dynamically shifting workplace. Come with me behind the scenes for some of our interviews. Hey guys, I'm here with the amazing Christina Lewis. Christina, thank you so much for taking the time to interview with me on this leadership series of CX Impact. We are here at the CCW Europe show, and you could be anywhere. It's so much noise going on downstairs and so much excitement, so many good sessions that have been going on so far. So thank you so much for taking the time to meet with me.
Of course, it's lovely to be here, and so lucky with the weather for London. It's, spot on, so sunny.
I know you told me, you was like, you lucked out.
You looked out, that is for sure, yeah.
So tell the audience where you're from.
Yeah, so I head up global operations at Bolt, which is a large mobility business similar to Uber or Lyft.
Okay, awesome. So are you ready for these 3 rapid fire questions?
I'm ready.
Okay, y'all heard her. She's ready. All right, I'm gonna be good though. All right, so tell us, what are you seeing as a leader in the space, right? What are you seeing that's working? There's so many things that are moving, and you're juggling so many different things as CX leaders in the space. But what's bubbling up to the top is like, this is what's working for me right now?
I think it's really easy to get really excited by all the different kind of AI tools and automation available that sometimes we can lose sight of the human touch. And for us, it's around, understanding kind of things like customer preferences before someone even gets in the car, but also how do you make sure that you're still learning customer preferences and delivering really good experience, particularly with a kind of human first approach. So we're trying to combine those two things. So we automate and understand preferences in advance, but actually we also make sure that anyone who's kind of engaging with the customer firsthand combines that with a human first approach. So we don't lose sight of that. And that's what we're really focused on, trying to kind of keep something really special around that.
Especially as a technology first, organization, keeping that human in the loop and that human-centric approach, I could imagine is something that you all hold very near and dear to you.
Yeah, I think any large technology company is often very, very good at how they utilize their data to maybe customize preferences, or whether it's kind of segment their customers or understand how to make efficiency gains. But it's more important than ever to think about what makes the human experience even more special. And for us, that's the differentiator.
That's amazing. So tell me, what do you see that is shifting in the market where it relates to customer experiences or employee expectations or AI and automation? Like, what's shifting that is making you like, oh, I see you shifting. I need to kind of like be paying attention to that. What's shifting for you?
Yeah, I think there's many companies that have the opportunity to choose more kind of social impact type approach. So that might be for us, for example, in our electric vehicles, we've seen customers want the option of more kind of climate friendly opportunities and products. But for a long time, anyone who kind of works in the kind of vehicle-related industries will know that there wasn't the infrastructure to kind of do it on a mass scale. And when also you've got self-employed drivers, that can be really tricky because they're also needing to source that vehicle. So for us, what we found is we've seen this emergence of technology and partnerships where we're actually seeing there's more infrastructure to enable for that kind of technology, for the charging, for kind of the infrastructure, and better partnerships available. So it's more kind of accessible for the drivers themselves to kind of have access to super safe, super reliable and financially kind of affordable vehicles. And what that's meant for us is we've been able to give that offering to our customer, meet that customer need, but also make sure that our kind of third-party contractors, our drivers, can do that in a sustainable, safe way. So that's been really exciting to see that technology emerge and us being able to meet that customer need.
You know, what stands out to me about what you said the most is the duality of how you're looking at what's shifting. It is the customer focus, which lends back to the first point of you talking about being keeping that human first approach, even as a technology first organization. And then also then the employee or contractor side of the house, where you're also looking at that side as well. Like, so you're looking at both of these things shift in not only the workforce that is empowering the solution and empowering customers and serving customers, but then also how the changing and the shift of the dynamics from a consumer perspective is taking shape and shifting as well. And so that's a dual thing that you're constantly kind of teetering on and making sure you keep it in check and balance.
It's a two-sided marketplace, and I think often we can forget many industries have multiple customers, and I think when we use the word customer, what do we actually mean? And for us, you know, we actually have 3 different types of customer. And sometimes more depending on the market. I won't bore you, but you know, that can be your driver, that's someone who's self-employed. It can be your internal employees, they're a customer type, and then it can be your consumer customer. And so understanding the needs of all of those and fine-tuning the balance to drive maximum performance and retention is like essential.
Okay, last question. Okay, so last question for you is, how are you preparing for the future? Okay, as a CX leader, as well as how are you preparing for the next generation? How are you helping the next generation prepare for the future?
For me, it comes back to what we were talking about at the start. How do you combine human-focused approach with data? So for us, we have, for example, a practice where anyone regularly experiences the app, they give feedback, and they, as a customer firsthand, tell us what they've experienced and where it's gone wrong. Not as an employee of Bolt, but as someone who is a customer experiencing that. And we combine that with large data set, with our product, with automation, with AI to come up with the best solution. So for me, I think it comes back to that future generation of leaders who understand when to use the data and when to lean into that kind of human first, customer first approach. And where we can combine those two things is where I believe magic happens. They don't happen in silos. Yeah. So for us, it's making sure that future leaders understand the benefits of both and showcasing the benefits of both.
One of the things, I know I said last question, but one of the things that really attracted me to you, Christina, is your focus on employee experience and that emotional intelligence. Tell me, how important is that to impacting customer experience, and why do you lean into that so much?
Yeah. Foundational, I think. I don't even see it as a kind of cherry on top. I think AI is brilliant, but it's as good as what you input into it. So if you don't properly understand the experiences of your customer or your employees in terms of the products you're trying to create or the software you're using, you'll only have as good a product as what you put in. So what I mean by that is, if you can properly get into the experience of whatever customer type you're trying to benefit and train whatever, software or product you're using to understand that better, and then constantly tweak it with new and emerging information, that is then when you're really going to get the power out of AI. But so much we see it as we need to use AI, okay, here's a solution. Yeah. But actually really understanding the foundations of that experience, that's emotional intelligence, understanding experience, empathy, understanding what that person's going through and where you need to use those different things. Or else you end up in situations where you have a product solution for an experience which is completely inappropriate for. So combining those two things is probably the thread throughout this conversation and the thing that I think is the most important.
That's absolutely amazing. Well, thank you so much for not only for doing the interview, but thank you so much for being the leader that leans into employee experience, leans into that emotional intelligence, understands the human side of things, even as a leader in the technology space. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, guys, stay tuned. Bye.